Workbench build in the making using 4x4 construction. So I want to be able to put this up and down, but then again I might just make it for a stationary bench. If I do, then what I'm going to end up needing to do is I think I'm going to make a notch right here so that this board can sit into that one, and then do the same thing there, up there, and up there. That way I'll have a way to connect it. I suppose I'll have to glue it. If you look over here, you'll see that I have right now, I have just a couple pieces of veneered MDF sitting on the outside because I'm looking for, it'll look something like this. I'm looking for a way to connect it all together without having to lose any of the height. And I really don't want to have to make a recess here or here, but that's what I might end up having to do. So I suppose that means I would need a dado there and a dado there on all four. I would have to go these. This is probably about 3.5 inches, so I would go probably about 1.5 inches deep on both of those, which means I would lose 3 inches of height. As far as these are hardwood oak, red oak, to be a little bit more exact. These are old handrails, and I have these two pieces are relatively close to each other. This one over here is 50.5, and this one is like 51.5. So I'm going to have to take and cut that one down. If I use these just to fasten it together, I would have to trim that off, and then of course trim that off. But then I would have to have two of those. I definitely need them inside because what I'd like to do, put drawers in them. On this workbench, which is actually pretty cluttered right now and unorganized. But there I have a drawer there, and then I have two little pull-out drawers down there. None of them are on slides or anything. This one just sits on plywood, and so does that one. And they're just sitting in there. So I'd like to do something a little bit better. I think I don't need the drawers to be that deep. So I guess I'd have to put another sheet on the inside, or maybe just move this on the inside. But I just don't think that that's enough to hold it. So I'm thinking I would need one of these inside and out just to kind of hold everything together. Not quite sure what I'm going to do with that just yet. But if I do several drawers, then that means I'm going to have to make several dados here so that the drawers can slide in and out. I don't need them to be that deep, probably about 4 inches. And I think maybe to give this a little bit of a better look, maybe I should take and cut off a corner or give it some type of maybe a rounded profile. Not sure yet. What I like about this is it makes great for clamping, because here I have a board that's already been cleaned up and ran through the table saw and is relatively flat, and it sits pretty close to flush. So I like that because that means I can connect. All I have to do would be to cut it, and then these boards could sit in there as cross supports. And then I'd have to make some type of a fastener where I can take this board in and out at will, This would make for a great clamping rack. And if I'm not using it as a clamping rack, I would have to put a top on it, and then that would be a work table. I really like this. It's heavy duty. Right now, I do most of my work off my train over here, and then I have my little snap table here. I call it a snap table because it literally snaps together. Here's one of the joints. I call this a half lap bridle joint. It's actually quite effective. Slide that back. There. So all four corners are connected that way. These are like 2x5, and as you can see that the cross members are very, very small. They're only like a inch and a quarter, but this thing will hold an incredible amount of weight. So I like it, but it's just kind of low, and I need something higher. I need something a little bit more suitable. So I'm thinking of doing this. Maybe incorporate the pipe clamp. You know, this is actually pretty easy, and as you can see, it's connected down here. But I think I would want to beef it up a little bit. Make make the holes here a little bit more tight. I gave them room because I was afraid of them binding, but I think I want them to be a little bit more snug. So there it is, and let's see where we go.